What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic. And today's project, it is another dream car. This is the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG, and she is a thing of beauty, and we'll talk about her in just a minute. First off, I want to say huge congratulations to Sonic Fear with the Bolt Reptilia R6, that insane horsepower monster you built there. Congratulations, you took the win on this one. You definitely deserves it. Looking absolutely epic. Next competition has started, and we are working on a Golly's Nissan Skyline GTR R34. If you want more information, head over to the Red Dot Games official Discord server. Link in the description below where you can go and find everything out. There's a link to the car on the Steam Workshops. You can go download it, customize your own, build it, make it, upload it to the competition. Who knows? You may just win. Sonic Fear's won 2 in a row now. Is somebody going to stop him? But anyway, let's crack on. Back to today's build, the beautiful Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG. As I already said, definitely one of my dream cars. Nothing compared to you, Mustang. We also know the Gullwing is definitely up there as well. This one here is not in too bad condition. It's not horrible. I've definitely seen a lot worse, but it is pretty bad. We got it from the auction house. Did we get a good deal? We did indeed. 41,838 is what I paid for this one, and I could sell it for 45,037 before we even start, making a cheeky little profit of 3,199. Doing pretty well at the auction in the last couple of ones, not like the beginning of the Mercedes. The engine in this is the V8 M159, another brand new engine into the game with 558 factory horsepower, and it looks like a bit of a monster on there. Unfortunately, ours is missing just one or two little bits. Nothing special, just one or two little bits. So we will be building that one back up, making it look awesome a bit later on. But before we get stuck into this one, we need to send it over to the car wash and get all of this dirt and grime cleaned off of here. So let's get it cleaned. Let's get started. Here we are then in the car wash with the SLS AMG. We can see it's white with a grey racing stripe. So let's just get it cleaned, ready to go on there. Looking quite nice in white. We may stick with a white. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided what colour would you do this piece. Do let me know in the comments below. Let's get the interior done, get it back on the lift, and then start tearing this one down and building it back up better than factory. Let's get under this beast and check for that oil pan. No oil pan, so we don't need to drain the oil. This is also a mid-engined. It's behind the front wheels there. And this has got a new drive tunnel in it as well, with a new rear-mounted gearbox. Liking the look of that, but let's get in. Let's start getting some things off. It is rear-wheel drive, so we do need to get these rear drive axles off first. So let's crack on with that. I'll see you in a second. That's the wheels and rear drive axles off. Let's start with this gearbox. Out you come. A lovely few mountain bolts on there. No rusty ones. We definitely like that. Out you come. Then we need to get this one out. That looks like the starter's missing, so I'm going to press X on it to add it to my shopping list. Let's get this drive tunnel out of here. Lovely AMG logo on there as well. Looking pretty good. Out with that last rusty bolt, and then we'll pull what's left of this engine block out of here. Over we go. Let's get you back down on the ground. Let's go and grab that engine crane. Over we come. And let's get you ripped out of there. There's not much in it, but out you come anyway. We'll get it on the stand. We'll sort all of that one out a little bit later on. Do we have anything else in the engine bay? Absolutely not. Everything is missing. So there is nothing to drain out of this one. So I need to make sure I've got all of these parts. I also don't know what's going to be part of the engine. I know some of the air filters have been part of the engine with some of these Mercedes, so maybe this is part of the engine. We shall find out a little bit later on. I'm going to strip out all of the rest of this here, get the engine all sorted, ready to go back in, and then we'll come back in and sort out this beautiful Mercedes-Benz lovely bodywork before we head over to the paint shop to check out the liveries and see what colour I'm going to go with today. Well, that's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back on our beautiful SLS AMG, including all of the performance parts for that beautiful V8, but we need to strip all of this body off and see what we've got here. So out with these fenders, we'll take the lights, the hood, all of it's coming off. Out you come. A windshield, is that part? It is not. Out with them doors, then we've got rear windows down here, bumpers missing, tail lights, out with the trunk, more tail lights, out with the other door, and that should be everything for the bodywork. Not 100% on that, but let's check out this interior. Beautiful looking seats in there, absolutely stunning, with the red on the dash and everything like that. It looks absolutely great in there. Black and the red stitching as well, just to top it off. But let's grab all of this interior out of here, out with that beautiful steering wheel and those lovely seats. Now, have we got everything? into this screen. Don't want to know the engine stats. 1% on there. That's looking good. And nothing showing up on there. We have got everything. So I bought the car for 41,000, a little over. And the frame is in 29%. What do you think? I'm going to go with... I'm going to say 18. 22. Not too far off, though. Not too far off at all. We'll go into the shop very quickly. There's no tuning parts for the SLS AMG. Just the normal bodywork station. There it is up there. All of these parts, that's all you have to work with. Very simple, like-for-like replacements. Let's get it sorted. Let's get it all back together before we head over to the paint shop and see what we can do today. Let's get this beautiful machine all back together, ready to head over to the paint shop. On we go. Hood, some of the bits we managed to replace, some of the bits we had to buy. For example, front bumper was just totally missing. Fenders, in you go. Did have to replace the one on this side. In with the lights. Looking good, looking good. I just love that front end. It looks beautiful. On we go. In with the windshield. Gull wing doors going on this one as well. Absolutely stunning. This Mercedes does have wing mirrors on both sides, so do bear that in mind whilst purchasing your items. In with the trunk there. In with the rear bumper and the tail lights down the back. Everything about this car is beautiful from any angle. Not quite as nice as the gull wing, but still absolutely stunning. That should be all of the bodywork now. We'll check it in a minute. We'll go for some plates very quickly. I've just gone for my my VM plates with AMG V8 on there. Looking good. Down the back we go. On with the rear one as well. And let's get some beautiful, beautiful interior in. In we go. In with the lovely new SLS seats. In you go, and then on with that steering wheel there. We may add a splash of colour to that later, but I don't want to take the red out. I don't really want to take any of it out because it all sort of matches in with the red and black. The steering wheel's a little bit grey in comparison, so we may fit some black on that. We shall see how it goes a little bit later on. But is that everything? 100%, 100%, 100%. Fantastic. Let's get this beast over to the paint shop, see what liveries we got in there. We know we're going to have some stripes, at least one stripe on there. But what else have we got? And what colour are we going to go for today? Well, here we are in the paint shop with the beautiful SLS AMG. Lovely pearl yellow factory colour on this one. What else have we got in a factory? Gloss white, metallic silver, obviously with the Mercedes. Lovely black. Don't know what that is. Is that like a revamp of that sort of champagne-y colour? Not my cup of tea. Lovely pearl red on there. That matches with everything on there. Liking the yellow, but sort of not at the same time. Then we got a lovely little baby blue. This brown. Why would anyone have ordered that? Never mind. And then a purple. I can see why someone would have added purple. That's pretty cool. I think we're going to go for a bit of a goldy colour today. So let's go into here. We're going to keep it in metallic. We're going to nip this down to sort of in the yellow. Put the brightness all the way up. Definitely want a bit more saturation than that. Where do we reckon? I want it to be a sort of goldy colour. I'm quite liking that. I think that looks pretty smart. Lovely little sort of keeping a bit of an homage to the factory yellow that you got on there, but just adding a bit more of shine to it, a bit more gleam to it. Make it look a bit more gold, I suppose. But there we go. I think that's the base colour we're going to go for on this one today. Let's have a look at the liveries. It is racing stripes. There's that grey one of front to back on there looking pretty good. Then we've got black. That looks pretty good with the gold. Probably what we'll end up with, but we haven't finished yet. Lovely white one on there. Actually, gold and white. No, I'm going to go with the black because of the darkness of the interior in there. Then a yellow one. Let's just nip some of that brightness out so you can see it. There we go. And then, oh, a green. Doesn't go with the gold, but that would look amazing in a black and green or something like that. And that's it. As you can see, with the new Quality of Life mod update, it now names the liveries in there, so you can sort of see if I'd named it myself, you know, Virtual Mechanic, livery, whatever, it would show up there, or any of the Mod Workshop ones that have been named specifically for a reason will all show up now on your screen, rather than just the 1, 2, 3, 4 that it used to be. There we go. Looking fantastic. That's definitely what we're going to go for, that black front-to-back racing stripe on this sort of metallic gold, we'll call it gold, metallic gold body, looking absolutely beautiful on there. May change the wing mirrors to black just to give them a bit more definition. Apart from that, let's get it on and see how it looks. We need to open up that engine bay, see if it's a bit too gold in there, and what we're going to do with the rest of the engine. Definitely not too gold in there. Most of the engine bay is a flat yellow, but then you have this black piece that runs all the way around the outside, so that gives us plenty of black and yellow to work with. Liking that. Looking pretty good. Underside, it is a lot of black in the wheel arches, but underneath in the actual compartments, it's looking pretty black there, but obviously quite yellow at the front. So that gives us some things to play around with. We do also have, obviously, that red if we want to add a splash of red in there as well. But as it stands at the moment, I'm liking the interior. Maybe the steering wheel just needs to go a bit darker. We'll see what we can do with that. But I need to get all the engine painted, all the suspension painted before we get this little beast all back together, ready to be finished off. Heading up the drag strip, see what we can do today. Time to start getting everything back on our beautiful little SLS AMG. Everything is painted, as you can see. I also done the wing mirrors in a little bit of a metallic black there, and I put a little bit on the steering wheel just to give it a bit more definition, a bit more colour, just make it pop that little bit more. Didn't do anything to the seats, just left them as they were. But let's get it up in the air. Let's crack on with this suspension setup. So the rear shocks are in black with some gold springs and black caps on there, looking pretty good. And the front shocks are exactly the same, but we need to get them together regardless. Looking very good on there. Let's go. Let's start getting this all in then. Starting with this lovely front suspension crossmember in that beautiful gold, along with that knuckle looking good there. Steering racks in the black, along with the sway bar. Then we got the bottom suspension arm in black, along with the upper suspension arm as well, looking very good, black and gold. Kind of like Bumblebee, if Bumblebee's dad was a hedge fund manager or something. Instead of yellow, he's gold. Let's get these rubber bushings in. In you go there, and in you go over here. Looking good. Let's throw them shocks in. In you go. In your black and gold. Looking amazing in there. Loving these colours. Sway bar endlings in the matching gold. And it is the same colour as the rest of the gold. That took a little bit of doing, but we got there in the end. Inner tie rods in the gold. And the outer is in a black there. Just to keep the alternation going. Knuckle covers in the black with the front wheel hub in that matching gold. It's nice when they all match up like this. I love it. Wheel hub bearing in you go. And the brake disc on you go. We've got a lovely little brake pad. Gold wheel hub in there just because, and the brake caliper is in a chrome gold, which very closely matches the rest of the gold. Not quite 100% with the chrome, but very, very close. Looking very good, but we need to get down the back. Let's get on with this. It is all exactly the same pretty much, so let's just get it all together. Carry on as we go. There's a few bits that are a little bit different, but some of it we can't even get to until a bit later. Once that gearbox and drive tunnel are in, so we'll just crack on and get all of this finished. Looking good. In you go, in you go. We got the wheel hub looking good in that gold. Bearing in you go. Drive axle would be next, but can't do that until the gearbox goes in. Brake disc in, a brake pad on, and then that lovely chrome gold brake caliper in there. Looking fantastic. We've done the fuel tank in a black with the fuel pump in a little red, just for a splash of that red. Same as the interior. Looking very good. That's pretty much it for the suspension. Very easy one, very simple one this time. We're going to crack on and get the rest of it done before we come back and build this beautiful engine bay. And I'll talk a little bit more about that when we're there. Well, there it is. Looking absolutely stunning in black and gold with all that suspension. Very, very pleased with all that. Looking fantastic. What do you guys think? Do let me know in the comments below. But let's get on and get this engine bay all sorted. I'm going to start up here with the coolant reservoir. We've got a battery in here as well. ECU Type A, the performance one. Full stage 3. In we go with the ABS pump in the gold and the module in the black there. Sort of struggling to say that. I have no idea why, but it just didn't want to come out. Brake servo in you go. We'll get the fuse box base in. I'm not going to make you sit and watch me build all of that, but they are just blacked out on there. They're hidden away, so it doesn't matter anyway. Power steering pump in you go. Wishy-washy reservoir in you go. And then we'll get this big old gold radiator in there looking fantastic with the black fan housing kits and chrome gold fans looking absolutely fantastic. Now, these bits aren't built with the engine, which is good to know. So we'll put the air filter base in you go. We've just done them in a flat black or a metallic-y sort of black on there looking good. We'll throw the air filters in, but I will say you can't put the covers on until a little bit later on because they do connect to the engine. And I'll be honest, it looks pretty sweet. That's about it for the moment. I'm just going to quickly show you how you cannot see that fuse box anywhere. It is hidden just down there somewhere. I don't know if I can even ping it from here. It doesn't look like it, but it is like right underneath that bit of plastic. So you'll never be able to see it anyway. And the air filter covers go on later. Looking good. Let's go and build that beautiful V8. Blocks in black, oil pans in black. All the gubbins are in underneath, ready to go. So let's just crack on with it. And we're going to just jump straight in with these engine heads in the gold, still with a splash of red on there. A little bit of red on the front and some of them bolts as well. Looking great. get you all bolted in and done up. We'll come back to the innards of these engine heads in a little while, because there's a few other bits we can do first that are just, you know, a little bit different. So let's just get these bolted up, and then we'll move on to some other pieces. In we go, let you go, in you go, there we go. Now we can get this timing chain in here, in you go, along with some lovely shoes for our SLS AMG. 2 there, and then we got another timing chain just down the bottom, keeping it all connected up with another 3 little shoes in here just to really finish it off. In you go, and oh, zoom in, why don't we? Last one, in you go there. Then we've got this big old gold timing cover on the front, absolutely fantastic, really blending in with them engine heads there. There's a tiny wee bit of colour difference, but you can barely even notice it at all. Water pumps in the gold just to go in with that beautiful timing cover, and then that pulley on the top just in a little black, just finishing it off. All of these idle rollers are all in black. In we go there, and in we go there. There are 3 more idle rollers to go in a little while. Crankshaft pulleys in the black as well, and then we've got the alternator in a lovely matched gold, along with the power steering pump also in a lovely matched gold on there. Looking great. Very pleased with that. Oh, we can get the belt on now. On with that belt, and then the other 3 idle rollers. This car has got a lot of rollers going in it. In you go, and in you go there. And that's it for the front, apart from this oil filter, which I nearly forgot there, just in a little black and it's gold housing. It looks beautiful. I'm loving this engine. We got these 2 cam gears in here. Can't put the camshafts in until the cam gears are in, so we'll get both of them in there. We've got 8 spark plugs, as you can imagine, 4 camshafts, 2 on either side. And then each camshaft also has 4 caps to go on top of it. So we're going to crack on and get all of them done, both sides, and I'll see you in a second. There we go. That's all the innards in. Let's get these engine head covers on. They are just blacked out, looking pretty good on there on the gold. We do have an extra splash of gold on these, though, with these ignition coils. They are chrome gold, looking absolutely beautiful. You can only paint the performance parts of these with the Quality of Life mod, along with a few other pieces on this engine, but they're looking fantastic. On with the other side, in you go. I always hover over what's going to be the last bolt. Just never works out for me. Let's carry on. In you go, on you go. Last ignition coil just on there. If we just nip around the back, fuel filters also in a lovely little gold, just for good measure there. Then we got this intake manifold on the top. I've done this one in the black. Looking pretty good. There is a reason for this, and you'll see it in just a second when we show you the next part. Not the next part, the part after that. Fuel rails in the gold, on you go. Now, these parts here, real struggle to paint. I didn't want to chrome them out. They looked a bit weird. Plus, there's some details on the top parts that I didn't want to lose. So, intake base is in a yellow, but sadly, it's just like a solid yellow. It still looks really good. I'm very pleased with it, but I would have liked it to have been in that gold. Now, the reason I couldn't force chrome them is because of the AMG stripes and logos on this top piece here. Now, they've come out in the gold on the yellow, which I think looks absolutely fantastic. And it's the reason why I'm not annoyed that these had to be forced in a sort of solid yellow, because they still look fantastic. Along with this one here with the Mercedes-Benz actual badge there. Throttles are in the gold just to add a bit of gold on the top end along with the stripes and stuff. It is looking fantastic. I am very, very pleased with this engine. It looks absolutely brilliant. As regards for the exhausts, we've gone for a chrome black. Not forced chrome, just the normal base game chrome on there. On we go. Looking pretty good. The whole exhaust system is in the same black. This is it, though. This engine is very nearly finished now. Not a bad build. I quite enjoy this one. Very quick if you know what you're doing with it. Obviously, I've disassembled this and built it back up twice now. But there we go. Ready to go. All beautiful in them colours. The golds and the blacks really come out really nicely on this. These yellows are hopefully going to look pretty good when we drop it in. So I'm going to grab some pictures. We'll get it dropped in. We'll see how it looks in just a moment. It's time to get this beautiful little beast into our SLS AMG and get it all finished off, because there is a few extra bits that can't go in until the engine is in. Engine's already in the base, so you can't fit these in. Let's just get these out. Out you come, and out you come there. I thought you could fit them in first, but you cannot. You have to put them in empty and then pop the air filters in after. That answers that question. At least now we know. So let's get on with these. Back in with these air filters. In you go, and then we've got the lovely covers to go on the top. In that black with some lovely gold clips just going around the outside just to finish it off there. If I could clip that last clip, there we go. In we go on the other side as well. All blacked out, looking absolutely fantastic. On we go, and on we go. That's as much as we can do from up here, apart from that fuse box. I really need to finish that off. I still haven't done it yet. I will do that in a moment before we head outside. Don't worry. Can't do this bit from here. We have to go upside down. So let's get in underneath. Upside down? What? Don't know. In underneath we have to go to get that done. So let's crack on and start with that piece in here. We jump in up here. This is the oil reservoir, so we'll get you in. I have blacked it out. I was very tempted to go with gold. This whole bottom section went gold absolutely beautifully. This top here went like a brown. Yeah, it wasn't a nice colour. So we just had to black it all out in the end, which was a bit of a shame. It would have looked good gold. But if we just step away, in fact, we'll check that out in a minute. Let's carry on with the underneath rather than popping the car back down. We'll get this drive shaft in. I've done this whole drive tunnel in a matching gold there. Looking very good. Very pleased with that. In with the black starter on there. We've got the AMG badge just on the underside there. Gearbox, in you go. We've done that one in a black, but it has got a few little red splashes on there from the performance tuning parts. Looking good, blended in with that fuel filter. Drive axles, in you go. They are in the gold going into that black gearbox. Looking beautiful. In you go. And in you go. And we've got, that's a wheel. We've got these lovely exhausts. As I said, it was all in that chrome blacked out. Front to back, looking very good. Nice little crossover in the section. And then these pieces here, I'm assuming they're hooked into something on the underside of the car. Can we see it? Where would they be? Just there. Are they hooked into anything? No, I think they're just meant to be hooked into something. Still looking good, though. Let's bring the car back down. First thing I want to look at is them black exhaust pipes at the back there. That's looking pretty cool. Pleased with that. We go back up to the front very quickly. We'll just take a look, and you can see all of that in there. Looking absolutely fantastic. I'm going to crack on, get all the liquids topped up, get that fuse box finished finally. Sort out some wheels, tint the windows. This car will be outside in the sun, all finished off, ready to go. Well, here we are then, all finished with our beautiful SLS AMG. Looking absolutely stunning with the billboard in the background in the same pose. Looking beautiful. Very, very pleased with this car. I think it looks absolutely fantastic in that engine bay. Very proud of that, even with the yellow colouring there. Just put a bit of light on it. Too much light, maybe. Maybe that brightness should be turned down. But there we go. Looking absolutely incredible. By the way, that torch feature is inside the Quality of Life mod if you are interested, and that's available on Nexus. But anyway, back to this beautiful SLS AMG. Looking absolutely stunning in our sort of gold and black color scheme there with the red and black livery interior. Sorry, livery. With the red and black interior on there and our lovely little black stripe. Let's talk about these rims. These are the SLSA rims, not AMG, just SLSA rims. There are two types of rims to go with this AMG. You've got the SLSA and the SLSB, which is a two-tone, which would let you paint these sort of fins here, looking pretty good, and then the rest of the internals there are that sort of dark grey colour that comes on most of the other two-tone rims. Would have been pretty cool. I did try a set with gold on, didn't really like it, so I decided to go with all black. But these front rims here, they are a 20-inch rim with a 265 width and a 35 profile on there, and our chrome gold brake calipers look beautiful through them. Down the back, they are a slight bit bigger. Same size rim, still a 20-inch rim, but it's 295 width instead of 265, with a slightly smaller profile at 30 on them instead of the 35. Looking beautiful. Quite a nice stance on that one. I'm hoping this one's going to have a little bit more power than the rest of the Mercedes-Benzes that we've done, and hopefully get a good time on the speeder board today. But let's jump inside this one. Beautiful interior inside this. Absolutely love this. Beautiful work by everyone at Red Dot Games. Also beautiful work originally by the original designers at Mercedes. But let's get this new V8 started and see what it sounds like. That sounds like a tractor ticking over. I'm not a big fan of that one, but let's give it some gas. Soon changes its tone once you give it a bit of gas in this one. That sounds much better than the tick over. Pleased with that one. That's sounding pretty good. But let's get this beast onto the dyno, see what its horsepower is and what its drag rating will be. On the dyno with the SLS AMG and its V8 engine with 558 factory horsepower. All the performance parts are available, so we fully loaded it. What is the horsepower gain today? What is the total? And what will be the drag rating? Please be good. A gain of 562 horsepower, 101%. I'm very pleased with that for the Mercedes-Benz. All of them have been a little bit low, shall we say. Up to 1,119 horsepower, definitely the highest of all of the Mercedes. With the drag rating still not quite up to our normal standard at A747, which is a bit of a shame, but that should give us some interesting competition on the drag strip when we head over there a bit later. But let's check out the gearbox tuning setup. There she is, a 3.27 ratio, 87 in first gear, up to 411 in seventh gear. Fully tuned ECU, no carburetor. So let's just get into it. Let's head over to the drag strip and see what we can do. Here we are then with the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG on the drag strip, ready to tear this one up. Hopefully we can get at least a sub 10-second car, maybe a top 10. That would be nice, but I don't think so. The rest of the Mercedes are all in the bottom 5. So let's get into it. King of the Sands, 1 mile, A-class, pay the entry fee of 1,000. And who have we got in here today? King Slowpoke's in the pursuit mode Batmobile. A nice ride you've got there, my friend. Who else have we got? Jackal is in the Time Attack Ford Sierra. I'm not calling it a Merca. It's just not happening. Who else have we got? Dodge Charger, Skyline, another pursuit mode Batmobile. RTR Unicorn against the Ford Mustang. Lovely. Ford Mustang? Ford Fiesta, should I say. Pikes Peak. That's quite a good one. But let's get into it. Can we beat our first race, which is against the Time Attack Ford Sierra? The Time Attack Ford Sierra versus the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG. How will this go? There is only one way to find out. Let's jump inside. Let's get going. Off we go. Come on, SLS, you can do it. Off the line. Good little start there. Into second very early. And then into third gear. I think we're doing all right. Into fourth. Where are you? We are pulling away. Into fifth. This has got 7 gears, bear in mind. I didn't add any. That's how it comes from factory. But let's get across the line. Let's see what sort of times we can get with this beautiful SLS AMG. Into 7th gear. Come on, little car. What are we going to cross the line at? What was the speed and the times? Sub 10 seconds. Definitely very happy with that. 9.680 to the quarter of a mile with a 1 mile time of 23.323 seconds. All of the 2s and all of the 3s with a top speed of 367 kilometers an hour. First opponent down, who was a slightly better rating than us as well. So very pleased with that. Who have we got in the next one? Sadly, King Slowpoke is out in the Batmobile, which means we are against the Dodge Charger SRT8 DTM. Quite an epic vehicle. We've built one of them before, and it was pretty good. I also missed someone at the beginning. Buckshot is in there in the RTR version 1. Unicorn up against Jackal in the Ford Sierra Time Attack. I wonder how that one's going to go, but we need to see if we can beat this beautiful little Dodge Charger. That Dodge Charger is absolutely beautiful. Very good looking car, definitely there. We're up against it in our SLS AMG. Yellow versus gold. Who's going to win? Let's find out. Away we go. Into second, nice and easy. Into third. I just don't want to see that Charger pull away from us. Looks like it's far behind us, so that's definitely a good sign. Let's keep going down this beautiful straight. Can we beat our last time? A little bit faster, just a little bit. Be nice to get slightly higher up on the speeder board. Is that Charger with us? Oh, I've just done something terrible. Change into 7th gear. Oh, I hope that's still one. We did indeed. I accidentally pulled over to the right there instead of looking out of the window. But there we go. A 9.608 second to the quarter of a mile. Definitely a little bit faster. Not too much. 80th of a second off. Pretty good. And a 23.293. Ever so slightly faster again. But a slower top speed because of my slight weaving at the end there, which was an idiot mistake. But I did make it. But there we go. We beat the Dodge Charger. Let's get into the next one. Buckshot in the Ford Mustang, RTR Unicorn, knocked out Jackal in the Ford Sierra Time Attack. Bit of a shame that one. One of them's got to go through though. Up against the Skyline next for Buckshot. Bit of a weird one that. Hopefully this will be a good race. Who will make it to the final? Will we even beat the Ford Mustang RTR Unicorn Street? I certainly hope so. Let's get in. Let's find out. The Unicorn Street in a beautiful green with white racing stripes on it against our gold SLS AMG with the singular black racing stripe. Hopefully we should beat this one, but the Unicorns are quite hard to beat. So let's get inside. Let's go. Come on, little AMG. Oh no, I've jumped the lights. I don't believe it. Well, there we go. That answers that question. No, we can't beat the RTR Unicorn Street because I'm an idiot. That is the simple reason. I did jump the lights. We will do one more 1v1 just so we can get a third time down. Let's see what we could have got if we would have managed to start this race. But let's get back and let's find out who's going to win this tournament. Well, there it is. The final race is Buckshot in the RTR Unicorn version 1 against the RTR Unicorn Street Edition. I wonder who's going to take the title of this one. Sadly, we did get knocked out. But we are going to earn 2,250 minus our entry fee. Does pit us at 1,250 up before we get back to the garage. So let's go find out who's going to win this one. Oh, sadly, Buckshot, you didn't quite win. Very close. You made it to the final. But the Unicorn Street did beat the Unicorn at version 1. There's our winnings, 2,250. Let's get that collected and let's get back to the garage. I said let's get back to the garage. We're not going back to the garage. We're doing a quick 1v1 just to get a third time down. 3 randomize. 1, 2, 3. We're against the Pikes Peak Ford Fiesta. We've definitely played against that one before. We normally beat it, but you can never tell with this game. So let's get in. Let's find out. A bona fide race car versus the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG street car. This should be an easy win for the Ford Fiesta Pikes Peak, but there is only one way to find out. Let's jump in. Let's go. Come on, little AMG. Off the line, didn't jump the lights. Thank the Lord. Into second, into third. Come on. He's not pulling away from us. I can see that. And we are pulling away. That's definitely good to see. We are hopefully going to take our final race in the SLS AMG after being knocked out of the competition by the Ford Mustang RTR Street, but mostly because we jumped the lights like the idiot we are. Let's get across the line. Will this be our best run of the day? I certainly hope so. There's only one way to find out. A 9.711, definitely not our best run of the day, and a 23.370 to the 1 mile. Also, not our best run of the day. Our best run was our second run with a 9.608 to the quarter of a mile, a 23.293 to the 1 mile with a top speed of 364 kilometers an hour in that run, although we can get 367 as demonstrated with the other 2 races. That's that. Let's get back to the garage and say goodbye to the SLS AMG. Well, there we have it, all finished with the SLS AMG. Beautiful looking car, not quite as fast as I would have liked, but it is what it is. Absolutely fantastic. This one did manage a 9.608 to the quarter of a mile and a 23.293 to the 1 mile, with the recorded speed in that top speed run of 364 kilometers an hour, but we know we could get it up to 367. Not too bad from our beautiful little AMG. Let's talk some facts and figures about this little beauty as we go. If you stuck around for long enough at the beginning, you would have known I bought the car for 41,838. Not too bad. We could have made a profit if we'd have sold it there and then for 3,199. Pretty decent, but we didn't do that. We spent a further 96,000. Where are we? 96,115 modifying, upgrading, and tuning this car to what you see here today. Looking absolutely fantastic. All the way around, this car is beautiful outside and in. Absolutely love it. Total spend on this one is 137,953. Not too bad at all. Can we make a profit from this one? It came 28th on the speederboard out of 38 cars. Definitely the best Mercedes from the DLC. Well, here we are then. Let's see if we can make a profit from the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG. 175,000 kilometers, or just under, by the time we finished with this one today. All 100% complete with that engine wrapped up to 1,119 horsepower. Definitely very pleased with that. The best of all of the Mercedes. That engine does look absolutely beautiful. We will check it out before we sell this one off. Can we make a profit? 379,736 sale price definitely leaves us plenty of room for profit there. Profit of 241,783 plus our drag strip winnings, which obviously weren't that much in all honesty, but 1,250 brings us with a total profit for this car of 243,043. Definitely very pleased with that. But let's just take one last look at that beautiful engine in there, looking absolutely stunning. Very pleased with that one in the black and gold, looking awesome. But it is time to say goodbye to the SLS AMG. It is one of my favorite cars. I will be remaking a custom stamped one and a few little additions and things like that, trying to make it look as cool as I can, and maybe just a little bit more power if we can squeeze it in there. But we do have to say goodbye to this one. So off you go. That is the last of the Mercedes-Benz. Some of you will be happy to hear that, others not so much. I'm glad we did them all. I like doing them all. It's nice to showcase them all. But what have we got up next? We're back into the mods. We've got the Lamborghini Murcielago here. Absolute stunner. This one is a little bit closer there. There we go. This is the Liberty Walk edition, and it's the LP 670-4, which I believe means it's the E-gear. I'm not 100% on that one, but I believe it means it's the E-gear. We got it from the semi-decent auction house, I'm going to say. I don't know. I can never tell these days. They seem to not have dust on them sometimes. But there we go. We got it from an auction house, and it's not in too bad condition, in all honesty. Did we get a good deal? No, we're back to not getting good deals again. We bought it for 124,569, and we could sell it for 111,066, losing out on 13,503. Hopefully, we'll be able to make that back by the end of the next episode. The engine in this one is the V12 double overhead cam MRN engine. We could swap it out. I'm not going to. I'm going to leave that one in there. I think it's a pretty good one. 670 factory horsepower on that one. It's going to be a lot of fun. That is it for today's video, though. I do hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, please consider clicking that subscribe button, leaving us a like, leaving us a comment, letting us know what you think of today's build, all of the future builds, any of the builds, and if you've got any suggestions of something you'd specifically like to see, do let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, whatever it is you're getting up to in the world, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.